Well, hello, Karen, and hello, Tammy and Jay. Absolutely delighted to have you here online. And we're just doing this little recording for all our lovely friends and followers that we want to tell them about something really exciting that's coming up that we're collaborating on. So, first, I'm going to ask Tammy and Jay, tell us about yourselves. And why you're doing this co-parenting international that you've created.
Well, 20 years ago, well, 21 years ago, we launched or I launched this organization as a single mom to try to bring hope to other single parents that were sharing their children back and forth between mom's house and dad's house. And I had gone through my own divorce about 5 years prior, and I was looking for hope filled resources and pathways, and I couldn't find anything. And I'm an adult child of divorce. So I knew this is going to be an interesting road as my daughter's dad and I divorced and then we're, looking ahead. So eventually I started an organization and brought in other experts to come and speak and share wisdom so that any parent, no matter how they got to the single parent journey, could have specific tools and protocols to try to help their children have the healthiest childhood possible. So I met Mr. Wonderful back in '09 and he joined the team. And so we've been doing this together now for almost 15 years.
Yeah.
And go ahead and tell them about yourself.
Well, I'm also an adult child of divorce. What's interesting about it, though, is I didn't realize it until I was getting my master's and I'm in a divorce recovery class and we're talking about divorce. And I'm like, I guess I come from a step family, don't I? And one of the struggles I had with that is me and my two brothers. There's three of us, and then our younger sister who came in with my stepmom. But there was just this revelation that, wow, wait a minute, where's my bio mom in all this? And why was she so marginalized in our life to the point that my brothers and I really didn't know her, spend time with her? And so it's been an interesting journey as I became her study buddy when she's getting her master's, and I started expanding my horizons, and then went on and got my own master's. But part of the power, I think, of what we do is just as she said, the big word is hope. There's just a sense of how do we do this, because it's really complicated, and there's so much pain that comes from uh, the dissolution of a family and a relationship like that. It's very hard to compartmentalize that pain and remain in a parental posture. And so we both have a lot of deep empathy for folks in that space, and our own pain to go with it, which has made us passionate to speak about it, and
Yeah.
given us a purpose to reach out and to share, that there is a way. There's lots of ways. There's all kinds of tools and skills that we can develop for ourselves to help manage these complex families, as we like to call them.
And we work with parents and professionals. So
Hmm.
for this workshop, I know we're inviting both, right? A mom or a dad or a grandparent who is sharing time with the child in another home, as well as the professionals that work with families. So we always open our events to both parents and professionals, and excited to do so.
Yeah, and it's fantastic that you're coming all the way to Ireland to do this workshop with people. And I think we really underestimate the impact that separation and divorce has on our children. And from an adult child of divorce myself, and a blended family as well here, we can really see the impact, the difference that it makes between a negative relationship between both parents, which is what I was raised with, to a more positive relationship between parents, which is what we have now with my husband's ex-wife, as co-parents. So we do definitely see that, and I think your course is going to be really valuable to everybody here in Ireland. We could get a few more of them, I think would be really useful. So, Karen, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself as well, and what you're going to be doing, and what your role is now?
Yeah, and just firstly on that, I think the whole divorce and separation has been relatively new in Ireland. for people to come and talk about it. So the workshop is a bit groundbreaking in that sense, because I'm not aware of another workshop like this. To have both parents and professionals there means everybody's on the same page. So I think that's what makes this even more special. Yeah, about me, I suppose I went into creative mindfulness when my daughter was kind of struggling and I was struggling with anxiety. And I just thought there has to be an easier way. There has to be an alternative. And so it brought me down the whole road of yoga and mindfulness. And I just thought, wow, why did nobody teach me these things as a child? You know, we think, especially in at separation, that we don't equip children with these tools to help regulate themselves, help them feel empowered, help them communicate. So yeah, it's brought me down that way, and I'm big into, you know, having the child move or have movement in any of the workshops I do. But don't worry, for for this workshop, I won't make everybody get up and do yoga or anything like that.
Thank goodness I'm not flexible.
But I would be kind of doing starting off the workshop with a little chat about the window of tolerance and a meditation around that. And then I'll bring in a little spot of creativity as well. Because I think bringing out that inner child, you know, that playfulness as well, really makes us learn things, you know, through play so much, just like we did when we were kids. We forget that as adults to have a little bit of fun. So that's kind of my little edge on the workshop. But I'm so excited to welcome Tammy and Jay to Kilkenny of all places, and sit back and absorb all the years of expertise that's coming for parents.
Oh, it's absolutely going to be amazing, yeah. And I mean, there's a huge link between everything that the four of us bring to the table. You know, with between the separation and divorce, the amount of trauma that goes through, and as you guys know, that my special area is neurodivergence, and we see a lot of separation and struggles when we have children who have higher support needs. So I think it's really valuable that we have that. And then with the mindfulness, really helps to people to learn how to regulate themselves. Whilst they're regulating themselves, they can be co-parenting and making the best for their kids. Tell us a little bit more, Tammy and Jay, about what the workshop will entail.
Absolutely. Before I do that, I just want to say something. There's a friend of ours been a champion of Tammy's for years, and a good friend of mine since we've married. But I love what he had to say, because he's a marriage and family therapist too. But when he talks about divorce adjustment, he said we have a lot of divorce adjustment for parents, and that's good. He said, but healthy co-parenting is divorce adjustments for the kids.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's a very powerful point to make. And part of what we're going to learn is definitely just define it. You know, we'll talk about what it is and what it isn't, because sometimes what it isn't is just as helpful in understanding, you know, the definition of something. But we'll also be looking at and really diving into some of the tools that help us as therapists move folks from where they are to where they need to be. Right. So tools and measures that will help us understand how to locate them, how to help them locate themselves, get an understanding about, you know, what their relation dynamic says about their current family situation and how it might be affecting their kids. And then, of course, once we're all on the same page there, then we can help them move on that spectrum from where they are, possibly in a difficult place, to a better place. And so there's lots to offer in that way, skills and tools to help parents.
And we'll talk about some very practical things, like how to communicate with your co-parent. Some apps and resources for helping that communication be more effective and less stressful. We'll talk about the handoffs, where that's what we call it, the exchange or the transition, when children go from one parent to the other, and how to do that in a healthy way, so that no matter how many times that happens, the children especially can have the most stress-free experience, and give parents some ideas on how to handle that and prepare for it. Because everybody's family structure and their time frames are different, but most kids in divided experiences will go through a handoff over 100, maybe a couple hundred times in their lifetime. And so it's one of those things that if you just stumble through it, it's going to be hurtful and painful for the kids. But we try to give you some proactive ideas, regardless of where you are now or where you're where you've been and it's been difficult. We're going to give parents ideas to implement today that are new and helpful. And even if there's only one parent who really is passionate about co-parenting, we're going to help that parent have some mindset and some ideas to help their child thrive, even if the other party is absent or very difficult.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think one other critical thing that we'll definitely dive into is what we call competing attachments. And it's a dynamic most people miss, and they feel the result of it, right? In the chaos, in the stress and so forth, but they're not quite sure how to put their finger on it. And so what we've learned over the years is how to point that out, how to see that, and how to recognize when you're in distress as a young family, co-parenting or blended family. Almost always, if you can pinpoint where the competing attachments are flaring up, you're a long ways towards finding solutions and to quell the chaos of that dynamic and bring a little more peace to the family unit.
Sounds amazing. It's definitely an area I think that people don't really see. You know, they, especially when you're in it, when you're right in it, you know, or
Right.
you're working with somebody, you don't always see it. And sometimes it's hard to see what's right in front of your face because you're so hurt. Lots of people are, they're so hurt and emotions get in the way, and then they don't really think straight. They're not thinking about the child anymore, the best interests of the child. I think it can be very difficult. Karen, do you have anything to ask?
No, I just think that like the combination of the three of us is going to be amazing. I think it was it's come about very quickly, so we really want people to grab the opportunity to take up Tammy and Jay's visit here and the workshop. And I think that, like you said, professionals and parents are all going to walk away with an extra tool set, you know, that'll benefit the family and most importantly the children.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead,
And
Tammy.
I was going to say, we also will have some digital resources, handouts, things that can live on once we're gone, that we share with professionals all around the world. And so there'll be a whole bundle of flyer or interactive handouts that you can use with your clients, like the indicators of healthy co-parenting, the 5 categories of co-parenting and how they impact kids. Jay will do a deep dive on the 6 risks for kids of divided families and how to protect them. So there's going to be a ton of information on site, and then it's information you can use with your clients or as parents forever. And then we'll also show some of the videos from our One Heart, Two Homes video series, which is another resource that professionals use with clients. And so it'll be a very full day, and you'll walk away with a ton of hope. And like you said, I love your phrase, Karen, about the toolbox. You'll have a lot more assets in your toolbox for helping people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's going to be really important, that, you know, the key takeaways are going to be to have that toolbox of resources and hope and things that are actionable that they can actually walk away with, rather than just, you know, coming in and listening to a talk. Although we always take something from a talk. I don't know about you guys, but I always learn something from a talk. These are going to be really practical, actionable strategies for professionals and parents to be able to use in a realistic, lived way, which I think is fantastic, both from yourselves and from Karen. And I think that's going to be hugely valuable.
And also yourself, Jeanette.
And
I
myself.
know what you're going to do. I know you're going to avoid that one, but no.
I like to avoid talking about myself really as much as possible. But yeah, so I'm doing a little talk at the end of the day, just around trauma and neurodivergence and co-parenting. So it's just how to kind of strike that balance, or try and strike that balance. It's going to be more trauma focused, I think, than it's my baby. I like trauma and neurodivergence. They're my go-to areas. Talk about them all day and all night and into next week. So
I love it.
If anybody wants to get in touch with you directly, Tammy and Jay, how can people get in touch with you directly if they want to know more about what you do?
Sure. Our website is coparentinginternational.com. So it's co-parentinginternational.com. And there's several clicks there that you can sign up for a e-newsletter, or you can get in touch with us directly if you have questions about our resources or setting up a business or personal coaching session with us. So everything's at the website, co-parentinginternational.com.
And I like that, the fact that it's international, that you actually take clients from all across the world. Is that right?
We do, yes. Actually, we've worked with families across state lines within America, and some where there's a parent in America and a parent elsewhere in another country. So, and for professionals, we help do trainings. The nice thing about COVID, I guess it taught us all how we can connect and we can have meaningful experiences digitally. And so there are some professional groups that have had us do some of our training for their organization, even through the internet. So we can come in person, or we can work with people through the screen. So lots of ways to connect and empower each other and help everybody do that thing that they're doing, whether it's a mom or a dad, or a therapist, a social worker, guidance counselor in a school. We're here to help everyone best we can.
It's amazing. And like Karen said there, the whole divorce and separation thing is relatively new here in Ireland, especially divorce. Separation, maybe not so much, but divorce definitely. And it's been kept very much under wraps. So talking about this now is going to be really powerful. And I can feel that it's actually going to empower a lot of people and hopefully open those conversations going forward, that this is okay. Sometimes this does happen. And yes, we can work together and we can make sure that the kids are growing in a good, healthy way with that co-parenting on board. Karen, how can people get in touch with yourself if they want to learn more about what you do?
Yeah, I am terrible on the social media thing, but it's Creative Mindfulness 2018 on Facebook. And then they can contact me directly. I'll put a link in, I think, under this post anyway. But yeah, I'm low maintenance on social media. I'm not great.
I don't think many people like social media, to be honest. This is why I have somebody else doing it for me. But anyone wants to contact me, my details are up on the background there. And you can contact me directly. Keep an eye out for our socials. So the course is One Heart, Two Homes, and it's professional development. We have got it IACP accredited for professionals, which is the Irish Association of Counsellors and Psychotherapists. So it comes accredited with those. And for people who are not professionals, not counsellors or psychotherapists, and still need CPD credits, we have it accredited through the CPD group, who is who we work with on a normal everyday. So please come along. Tickets are €55, and that includes refreshments, and it's going to be in St Patrick's de la Salle, which is a national school in Kilkenny City, and all of the details are on my website on tskacademy.com under upcoming courses. So that's about it. Has anybody got anything they'd like to add to what we have today? Because I know you guys are on the run.
Well, we're excited to be with you,
Yeah.
and I just have to say thank you to Karen, because we connected about a year ago on our last trip to Ireland and just had a nice dinner together, and it's so exciting. We were inspired when we saw your training that just happened recently with your TSK Academy, and I'm just delighted that we've got this opportunity to be together and to uphold each other and learn from each other. I know we'll have some wonderful takeaways from you two, and we're very much about collaboration and working together. So can't wait to be with you on May 11th. So thank you very much for everything you've done to make this possible.
So you're very welcome. We're super excited as well. It's going to be a great day. I just know it's going to be a great day. And they say it takes a village, right? And
Yes.
that's what we do. We work in partnership and collaborate, and we become that village, and we help people help their kids, which is what it's all about.
Yes, absolutely.
Anything to add, Karen, before we head?
No, just that I think this is just the tip of the iceberg around co-parenting and workshops like this in Ireland. Much needed. Just like I said, I pull a blank if I try to look for something like that here. So it really is a fantastic opportunity for people to to come. And you know, I know when we were working out the price, it's very reasonably priced as a tester workshop. But I would think that Tammy and Jay, you will be in demand again. You know, it'll be, you'll have to come to Ireland more.
Yeah, that'd be all right with
We
us.
would not mind at all. We love your country.
That's lovely. Well, we will let you go because we know you have a busy day ahead, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you both.